I'm a venture partner with Apollo Health Ventures. It's a venture capital firm, as the name implies, based in Boston and Berlin. We do exclusively invest in what we call age and age-related diseases, meaning we finance startups. We even create startups around interesting biology in the aging space. And with that, we look to develop therapeutics that then later on will be entering clinics and hopefully come to the market at some point. I'm having a very specific lens through what I'm looking at the market, which is really looking at how can we bring innovation to a product to the market and to the patient later on. Let's assume you make 80 the new 60 or the new 70, so you're pushing out health span for people. What do you do with the additional time? The additional 5 or even 10 years that you will be getting. So there's a whole complex of questions that people have to answer, and there is basically a discussion ongoing right now, or just started right now, and I think it's going to be taking a while to figure out what that really means, assume this all works out. So that's the elephant in the room. Everybody's looking at, extending health span and potentially extending lifespan, but nobody really has an idea what that means later on in society, for example, or reimbursement practices. Who will be paying for all of that? What you do with the extra time? So I think it's a super exciting times right now, but there's still a lot to be figured out. There are different data points that you can now bring forward to make the argument, say, listen, it's accelerating. I think the first one is the science. People can give names to things here. We have heard a couple of times the so-called hallmarks of aging. So this is really mimicking what people did in the cancer field, where they said, listen, they're hallmarks of cancer, which really describes what's going on in cancer. And now we're doing the same for aging. The other one is the tools that we have, in the sense of the multi-omics, all the data that we can play with, the multiplication of platform technologies and the diagnostics, but also in the modality space that you can now employ to target those verticals in the hallmarks of aging. It's also the interest from the markets. So there's a lot of money flowing into what we call startups in the healthing or in the aging space. Outliers like Altos, for example, collected about 3 billion a year ago. But there's also initiatives like Evolution from Saudi Arabia that are looking to deploy about $1 billion USD per year in commercial, but also in non-commercial. And I think that's the important point, in basic research grants that they will be financing in the age and age-related disease R&D, basic academic R&D. There is a growing, and I think it's going to be a maintained growing interest in the market opportunity looking at aging and aging biology. This will accelerate, and what we need in the field is really some early proof points that things that have been around for 5, maybe 10 years, biologies that have been known, that they really can deliver and extend health span, and with that, hopefully lifespan. The only thing that is missing, which is the big piece, is how do you get this to market? And who's paying for that? And who gets access to that, for example? It's another topic. I think it's going to be an essential part of the whole ecosystem going down the road. I want to congratulate the organizers here for the event. You're bringing a lot of different views to Lille. I think that's great. This forum is quite different. Hence it's so exciting, because it's different. People really have to sit down, they have to listen and exchange arguments, which is great. It's a great forum to do. But it's also a tremendous opportunity to bring together interesting folks and having a discussion on this topic, which will, I feel, not go away. It will accelerate, and people will have drugs interventions, lifestyle interventions that bring us another 2, 3, 5, maybe 10 years later on. So that's a topic to stay.